After hitting a 16-month low of 6.11% on the 30-year fixed mortgage rate, the rates have ticked back up to today is October 15th, all the way to 6.62%. And according to a new survey from John Burns Research and Consulting, neither 6.62 or the 6.11% is enough to unlock homeowners who do want to sell their current property and buy another home. So what is that magic mortgage rate, or the highest mortgage rate homeowners are willing to accept on their next property? And that's what we're going to dive into today, and what that means for buyers and sellers right here in San Diego. And then we're also going to jump into an easy tool to figure out if you are potentially thinking about selling your home and buying another home, a tool to figure out what your potential mortgage payment might be, and you can compare it to where you are right now and what you're comfortable with. And before we jump into that, as a quick reminder, I'm Chris Erickson. We love making these videos for you, so be sure to subscribe. We're dropping new videos here every single week. But more than that, we would also love to help you with your real estate needs. So if you are thinking about making a move right here in San Diego, all of our contact info is right below. Feel free to reach out because we got your back when making the move here in San Diego. So the magic mortgage rate that John Burns Research and Consulting says would truly unlock the market is below 5.5%. So here is the survey that they did right here. And you can see where we are right now in that 6.5 to 6.99% range. And obviously, the higher up it goes, the less sellers are willing to sell their current property and buy another property. So as you work your way from 8+% when there's basically nobody, I mean, I'm surprised that even 3% of people said that they would sell their current home and buy another home. But even when rates did jump up a few years ago to 8% briefly, there was people selling. So I guess there's people selling all the time. But as you move your way down, so mortgage rates are down here, and the percent obviously of people who would be willing to sell at that mortgage rate is up top. Right now we're sitting in that 13% range. So once you get over that 6.5% mortgage rate, obviously there's less sellers out there willing to give up their 3%, 4%, even 5% mortgage rates to get into the next property. Not only since the time that they have purchased their home, the rates have gone up, but also the prices have gone up. So the two factors. And then when you purchase a new home, if you're not utilizing Proposition 13 or you're 55 plus, then also your property taxes are going to go up. But as we work our way down to the magic mortgage rate, right here between 5.0% and 5.49%, so under that 5.5%, you could see it would definitely unlock some more inventory. Meaning anybody out there, especially you in San Diego, if you're sitting there and over these past few years, you just haven't wanted to make the move because mortgage rates are high, prices are high, it's been too competitive. Right now, we're getting into a little bit of a softer market. We're seeing less homes pop on the market, which is just a seasonal trend that you see toward the end of every year. And then it jumps back up in January and February. But I want to know in the comments down below, what is your guys' magic mortgage rate where you would potentially sell your current home and buy another one? I just want to know. We'll take our own little survey here to see what you guys are thinking out there. So let's just get eyes on where we are right now. Here's the mortgage rates. This is for the past year. And one thing about mortgage rates, first off, these are just based on averages. They're taking a survey. This is a daily survey that they take, but it's for specific terms of credit, of money down, all that kind of stuff. If you're getting jumbo loans, it could be different. If you're getting certain other types of loans, it could be different. So take this all with a grain of salt. And if you are thinking about making that purchase, don't just watch this video and figure, Chris said it's 6.62%. I can't do it. There's a lot of different factors that can change that number. So chat with your lender, your preferred mortgage lender. If you guys need somebody, just hit us up because we have a great contact right here in San Diego that just to have that conversation, and figure out where you potentially might be sitting on this scale. Because like I said, these are good to see averages, to see trends, but your specific situation could definitely be a little bit different. So right now we're sitting, like I said, 6.62%. We did go all the way down right here, September 11th to 6.11%. Now there was a big drop off from where we were. This is back in April of almost 7.5% right there, just a little bit over, to 6.11%. Now, buyers on the sideline, are a little more hesitant, obviously, the higher interest rates go. And it was a really good trend all the way down to here. But now, since then, September 11th, all the way till now, you saw some new numbers came out, some new economic data came out, popping this number back up to 6.62%. And before we get into what it means for buyers and sellers, I'm going to read an email. So that is from a local investor here. He puts out his weekly email, his weekly newsletter. But here is the title of how Brian's feeling about mortgage rates. And they have a big team. They have a lot of data. They do a lot of home flips right here in San Diego. So they know what they're talking about. But he, every week, gives his mortgage rate predictions. Here it is for this week. This just came out this morning. We are just at the beginning of feeling the economy slow down. Rates will continue to improve. However, that whole line is crossed out. Right below it, it says, it's okay to say that I just don't know anymore. And so nobody really knows where mortgage rates are going to go. But let me read on and what else he said. So I'm going to plead the fifth for at least a few weeks on my specific rate prediction because I'm fighting a losing battle. The election is also throwing another variable into the mix that I just don't quite understand yet. I will say that the economy is more likely at or near a peak or plateau than the alternative, which is the start of a new expansion period, and rates are usually highest at the peak. The Fed already has traders expecting another 1.5% cut in key rates by the end of 2025. And another 1% by the end of 2026. And if you've seen predictions and what the market thinks is going to happen, what's actually happened, obviously those things could be wildly different. Nonetheless, mortgage rates already have that plan baked in. So meaning where we're seeing rates go, why they jumped up to where they are, they're baking in already what is happening. They are looking a little bit ahead into the economy on all the data that has been out there. Traders are now thinking that that will be enough. And so mortgage rates have found an equilibrium in the mid 6% range. Rates only get better than they are right now if traders start to believe that the Fed's plan won't be enough to keep the economy from tanking. They will get worse if they see the economy doing better than expected. We just have to wait and see how things play out. So what's the timeline when we could potentially see that 5.5%? Who knows? It was trending down there. It was the way it was trending when it got down to 6.11%. It could have been a few months. Now we're another 0.5% higher, and that jumped that high on this chart right here from October 2nd to October 7th. Just a huge jump. So as we approach that 5.5% magic mortgage rate, you could expect more homes coming on the market, more active listings on the market. So right now, September of 2024, we see our seasonal drop down in the number of active listings. September was showing 5,144. We peaked out in August of this year. And you can see for most of the past few years, we've been under this 6,000 active listings mark. Back in, it didn't cross that a little bit here. But other than that, since September of 2020. Now, as we go back to like a normalized year right here in 2019, this number was peaked out over 10,500. So you can see we are super low on the number of active listings out there. Now, as mortgage rates go below the magic 5.5% mortgage rate, you can expect more homes coming on the market, more active listings on the market, but you could potentially also expect more competition as the interest rates drop, mortgage rates get a little more affordable, the purchasing power goes up for consumers out there or for other buyers out there. So you can see more people who have potentially been waiting on the sideline jumping back into the market. Now, that might not be the entire case. If they get to 5.5% real quick, it could mean something has gone awry in the economy. You can see a lot of unemployment and people at that point potentially not purchasing homes. So if it did drop to 5.5%, more homes coming on the market and less buyers out there, you can see prices change a little bit there. Now, as we go below that 5.5% for sellers out there, you can expect more competition. So as more homes are coming on the market within same neighborhoods, if you're selling your house and then your neighbor's house pops up, relatively same condition, obviously location, price point, then that's going to spread out the buyers a little bit. That's going to spread out the offers a little bit, unless there's an influx of buyers out there. So there's a lot of variables. It really depends on not just the mortgage rate, but also what else is happening in the economy at that point. Now, here's the simple tool that I mentioned that you can use to give you a ballpark of what your potential next payment might be. All you do is pop in mortgage calculator right here on Google. It's going to pop up this little widget right here. I always like to include taxes and fees, give you a better idea of what to expect for your monthly payment. In San Diego, we're going to use the last average monthly payment for September, which is $1,165,697. And now, since you're selling your current home, you're buying another home, I'm assuming you're going to have a little bit more for a down payment. Once again, this number can vary too, but let's just say you're putting down $400,000 on the home. Down here, you can see property taxes are going to be included in here. That's going to be 1% of your purchase price plus a few other items if there's Melrose in there, depending on where you live in San Diego. Home insurance could change too, depending on if you're in a high fire zone or not. But even with all this is put in at a 7.3% interest rate. Sometimes there's jumbo loans that are going to be different interest rates. So once again, important to chat with your lender and just see what those are for your specific situation. So here's the total monthly payment. Once again, it's including your property taxes on here as well. Even though property taxes are only due twice a year, a lot of times when you do get a loan, it's in an escrow account. So you're paying the principal and interest, which is that loan part of there, but also taxes and sometimes your insurance as well. So it's all one monthly payment. They disperse it all out for you. It really depends on how you set it up, but that's how a lot of people do have it set up. So the loan is about $4,900, taxes and fees about $1,554. Now let's pop that down. What happens when we get to the magic number of 5.5%? Now you're sitting under $6,000. You're sitting about $5,902. So really handy tool, just if you are kicking around the idea to give you a baseline of what to expect if you did sell your current home and buy the next property. And like I said, let me know down below what's your magic mortgage rate that would give you a little inkling of potentially making that move from your current property to another one. I want to know down below. And as always, as a quick reminder, I'm Chris Erickson. We have a real estate crew right here in San Diego. So if you're thinking about buying or thinking about selling or thinking about having to sell your current property and buy that next property, feel free to get in touch. All of our contact info is right below. And we got you back when make the move here in San Diego.